Hi guys, it's Dean from Barrow Buddies again. We're going to be doing a Q&A again for October. I don't know where the year's going, but it's flying past, and I've just had a few comments and questions left on my site. So I'm going to try and answer some of your questions to help you get a few of your problems resolved. So we're going to start with Keith from Peterborough. I have a Nash power barrow. Do you service them? You speak a lot about Carp, but not other makes. Well, Keith, yes, I service all types of barrows, any make, any model. I mean, even ones that I've never mentioned on any of me quotes. Just give me a bell and tell me the problem. I'm sure we can resolve it. I do sort out Nash. I can do wheel alignment on Nash. I can do paint correction. Everything that's on the normal power porter service can be sorted out for the Nash power barrow. So it's not a problem there, Keith. If you need a quote, just give us a call. It would be the standard power porter full service price of £80. But if you've got any other little job you don't want the whole service, just give me a bell and we can break it down and do it for the cost that suits you at the end of the day. So give us a bell, Keith. Cheers. Right, we've got George from Malden. I have a 24 volt power barrow with big wheels all round. Probably the extreme then there, George. The front wheel keeps coming loose. I'm worried it's going to fly off and I'm going to rip all my electrics out. It's about 3 years old. Can I do anything to stop this? Well, you can bring it down to me, George, because Malden's not that far away and I can do it myself. And I can put quick release bolts in the front wheel with like butterfly nuts. So your wheel's never ever going to fall off again. And if you need to get your wheel on and off to putting it in your car, it's literally just flick the nuts off, because they're, like I say, they're butterfly nuts. Just take them off, pull them out, and you can get it on and off and still put it in your car. Obviously, if you're in a van and that, you don't need to worry. So just tighten them up a little bit tighter and you can leave them in all the time, and you're never ever going to suffer with this problem. So that can get all resolved. You can either do it yourself or give me a bell, mate, arrange an appointment, and I can get it all sorted for you. Right, we've got David from Clacton. I have an old Mark II. It's in the colour of black. Well, it's an old one. Can I still get it repainted by you? And I need the leg welding. Yeah, it's not a problem, David. I mean, you're in Clacton. You're not that far away from me, about 35, 40 minutes down to Braintree from there. Yeah, I've got black spray here all ready to go, just on the off chance that we do some old ones. I haven't done one yet because that is definitely an old Mark II, probably around about a 15-year-old mark, or maybe even older than that. But no, we can sand that down, get it sprayed up black, looking nice again like it did when you first bought it. And as for the welding, not a problem, mate. I can grind it down, weld it, get it all strengthened up for you, get it sprayed black, and get you back out there. So that's all good on that one, David. Just give me a bell on 07808 048513 and ask for Dean myself. And we can get you booked in on that one. Right, we've got Steve from Middlesex. Can you sort out my Nash Metro power porter? The back wheels of mine sounds like a bag of bolts. It rattles really bad and there's a lot of playing them side to side. Can you resolve this? Well, Steve, you can, but on the Nash ones, there is two different types. So some of the back legs have like the pinhole system where they lock into place. Some actually have like a thumb screw, and some have like the clamp. But the play is just where the two bits of steel are slightly too small for each other. They should have used a thicker 7/8 piece of steel just to take some of that play out. I would get the right height that you need and run a nut and bolt through it and just lock it off and squeeze it together. And then that's going to cause, save a lot of that play from the bar itself. But if you're getting play from the wheel and movement itself, it might just need a couple of washes either side just to tighten that play. The thing you've got to watch is that when you've got a lot of play in them, and you might be going straight, but if you correct this, it may make the wheel alignment go out of line, or vice versa. You may be out of line, you may stop this play and it may make you go nice and straight now. I mean, you can't win really, it's either one or the other, but without doing it and doing this procedure, you know, you're not going to know. If you don't want the rattle and you want it to be a bit more solid and feel a bit nicer as you're using it, then just nut and bolt it and take it out. Take that play out, but make sure you're at the desired height before you do this, obviously, because if you nut and bolt it, you can't adjust your height adjustment up at the back, which suits your own personal height. So I'm sure that will get you out of trouble there, Steve, and stop a lot of the rattling, and it won't sound like a bag of bolts anymore. So it should sort you out on that one, mate. Right, we've got Craig from Cambridgeshire. Do you sell wheels, as I need back tri-porter ones? No, I'm afraid I don't, Craig. I don't sell any like little products like that at all. Your best bet is just to get on the Carp website, scroll through spares and see if you can get some wheels on there. I mean, if you're having no joy on the Carp website, then just look further afield. As long as you've got the right size wheel and the right size bore, you'll be fine. Just measure the bore, because tri-porters do vary a little bit from 1/2 inch up to 1 inch, but just measure the inside of the thickness of the axle. Make sure you got your bore right on the wheel, and you can go on eBay, I mean Amazon. If you even have no joy, try some of the Chinese sites. I know it'll take a bit longer for them to be delivered, you know, up to about 3-4 weeks, but you can go on Wish, that pretty quick delivery, or even Alibaba direct from Shanghai itself, and I'm sure you'll find the cost a lot cheaper than what you would on eBay. So if you have a look about and you can't get hold of them from the normal retailer, then just look about, mate. And I'm sure, Craig, you'll be able to get yourself sorted and get yourself a wheel or a similar wheel that's going to fit, that's going to do the same job. I'd advise puncture-proof ones on the back. Just saves a lot of ag in the future of buying new tubes, putting them in and replacing them, because you know what after swims are like. You've got half a chance of getting a puncture. So go for the puncture-proof ones there, mate, and I hope that helps on that. Right, we've got Mick from Gosfield. I have a Chubb transporter and my frame is splitting near the handles. I've put a Jubilee clip holding it together, but it keeps moving and the split is getting bigger. Can you sort this out, as I'm only 10 minutes from Braintree? Yeah, Mick, not a problem. Bring it down. You are right, it's splitting, and if you don't get it addressed, the Jubilee clip probably is helping, but it will split further. And because you've opened that seam up, you're always going to have a little bit of play that's exaggerated from where you put it in on the thumb screw to the end of the handle. But no, bring that down. Obviously, we get rid of the Jubilee clip, bang it back down to the thickness it should be, put a nice seam weld on there, grind it down a bit, sand it, spray it up, get it all nice and strong, and get it back to working order. So I hope that helps, Mick. And like I say, just give us a bell and get it booked in, mate. We'll get it sorted. Like I say, every job I do here is done while you wait. So anyone that's thinking, oh, I'm a bit too far, I can't be bothered to drive over an hour and then I've got to drop it off, then I've got to come back another day. It doesn't work like that. Every job I'll do will be, unless you've got huge major issues, which even then it's round about the hour and a half, but even a full service is done within an hour. You bring it down to us in Braintree, drop it off, go. I've got a McDonald's or a booze around the corner, and you can go for a coffee and something to eat, a bit of lunch, whatever time of day it is. Within the hour, it's normally done. I'll give you a bell, you pop back round and go back home. So it's literally all done. If you've got an afternoon free or whatever, you can get it all done in one day. And obviously you wouldn't be able to use the Barrow if it had been painted for that day. It'd be fine in your car, it'd be touch dry, but we like to let it harden for at least 24 hours. I mean, I do heat bake the paint on with a heat gun in here, but it's still going to be, you know, if you knocked it hard, it's going to scratch easy. So I advise not to use any Barrow or, you know, any service that we've done where we've had paint correction, because you don't really want to bash it about for at least 24 to 48 hours because you want the paint to harden properly. So I hope that helps you on that one, Mick, and get it down here and we'll get it sorted. Right, we've got Tina from Dagenham. I have a Mark 4S Evo and my back legs keep sliding down when loaded. How do I stop this? Obviously you're tightening them up, Tina, and the thumb screws have got worn. They've probably like concaved the steel, which is sliding up on the mud feet. or back wheels, whichever the case you've got on that one. Probably with an Evo, you've got the tri-porter back wheels, because they do come with them, but they do come with the option of mud feet. It doesn't matter what you use, it's pretty much basically the same. What you need to do, you're at Dagenham, pop down, we're about an hour away. We can fix them for you at the right height, so get it to the height you need, your exact height you always use. And I can fix them with bolts so that they're never ever going to slide down again, and it will resolve this problem. So give us a bell on that one, Tina, and we'll get it sorted. Right, we've got Elliot from Saffron Walden. I have a Fox Royal Barrow and my frame has snapped completely on one side. I see on your happy customer pictures on your Facebook page, you fixed one by welding. I'm from an engineering background, but the metal is so thin, even if welded, it won't be strong enough, as all the weight from the handles is braced there. I'm intrigued. How did you overcome this? Well, it's not rocket science there, Elliot. I mean, what I had to do on that one, you are dead right with what you're saying. That is bracing the whole weight of your load. So if you've got 70, 80, 90 kilos on it and you're pulling up with the handles, there's a lot of stress going on to that part of the frame. That's why it's originally snapped in time. But what I had to do on that one is strengthen it inside. So I put a 7/8 block of solid steel in there, just bracing the crack where it had gone all the way round. Obviously, you need a few inches of meat either side. It doesn't matter, because that part of the frame, as long as you've left enough for the handle to go all the way in, because obviously if you've got a solid block on there, it's going to hit it and nothing's going to go in there. So you still have got enough room to have about three inches either side of the crack. Put that in. I internally welded it, so it was welded inside the bar, and then I re-welded it on the outside. So now that joint and knuckle it's going to hold anything, because it is super strong, because there's a solid lump of steel in it. I mean, it's going to add another ½ pound to the weight of your barrow, but it's the only way you're going to fix a snap frame, is you need something internally in there with strength. Because like you said, the thickness of the steel is only a couple of mil. It's fag paper, and when it's gone, it's literally useless unless you do that form of strengthening inside. So Elliot, that's the way you go ahead on that one. If you're a pretty good welder and fabricator, you can have a go yourself on that one. But if not, just give me a bell, get it picked up. Like you say, you're Saffron Walden, so probably about just over the hour away from me. Get it booked in, and I can do the same with yours. And when it's done and it's all sprayed up, it's very, you can't really tell it's even been welded, because we're countersink the welds and grind them so it looks pretty flat to your frame. You're going to have a slight deviation in the line there, but unless you're going up to it with a microscope, you're not going to notice. So that's the way you'll fix it from any sort of snapped frame there, mate. So I hope that helps you there. Right, we've got Terry from Hastings. I have a Mark 6 24 volt, which only works in reverse. How do I fix this? Well, Terry, I think you've got a problem in your Pro Drive box, which is the black box that's bolted to your battery tray. You'll visibly see, if you take the battery out, there's two little, they'll either be Phillips screws or Allen key, depending on what actual model it is. I know you said it's a Mark 6, but they did still vary. Obviously, just undo them two screws, which is holding that black box on. Go to the reverse side, or the other side of the cylinder part of the motor, where you will have a rubber grommet. Pull that rubber grommet back softly, not too vigorous, because it can rip if you're a bit too heavy-handed with it. Pull the spade connectors off. They just pull on and push off, so you ain't got to worry about nothing there. Thread them back through, if you've got the crossbar, or even if you've just got the little spigots welded on, just thread them back through, and that box, once you've took the cable ties that's holding the main armoured cable off the side, which is literally three one side on that one the other, the battery tray, just slice them off with a Stanley knife. Watch your fingers, and just watch that you don't slice through the main looms when you're taking it off. Then you will have to replace that box, and I'm afraid the only place you're going to get that box is Carp themselves, which I think they are supplying, and they've got them on their website at the moment. But because you've got that model, you're going to have to make sure you get the 24 volt Pro Drive with the old style plug on it. because if you get the new ones, they're not going to be compatible with the electrics you've got. So get on Carp, order the old style plug, reverse what we've just told you about taking it off, and just box it back up yourself. I mean, if you're not that mechanically way inclined and you're not that clever about doing stuff, you can always buy the box from Carp. Give me a bell and I'll fit that box for you for, you know, about £20. So it's not the end of the world. Either do it yourself or give me a bell and I can sort that out for you. So I hope that sorts you out there, mate. Right, I've got Perry from Stevenage. I have a Fat Boy Mark II, but I have 2 broken thumb screws at the back. All I can see is thread. I can't undo them and I'm having trouble getting it in my car because it's very long with the handles in. And I'm having to slide it down in the centre console. Can this be fixed? Yes, it can, Perry. Come down here. Stevenage is about 45 minutes to an hour away from me. What it is, on them ones, probably the handle ones you're talking about, them thumb screws come in 2 parts. They are meant to be metal lock glue in, but for some reason you've broke the glue and you've lost the round disc part, which... a lot of people, when trying to take these out, unscrew them the wrong way because you think they come out anti-clockwise like a normal thumb screw does. But you'll notice on the frame with that type of thumb screw, there's a hole in the opposite side in the frame. What it is, when you take them threads out, once you've lost the head, they have to come out in reverse. So you do it the opposite way and bring it right through the frame and come out that way. That's the only way you can get them out. If you try and take them out the way that your brain's telling you, it's impossible because they've got like a ledge channel in them that locks them solid. So that's probably what you've done. You've tried to undo it. Maybe you've put a pair of mole grips on something, forced it, ripped all the thread apart, and just you're having no joy because it sees solid. It will not come out that way. It has to come out the opposite way. But we can get them out, and obviously we've just put normal thumb screws back in. Unless you wanted to stay the same and you had some in your spares kit, we can put them in and they'd have to be Loctite thread locker glue put on them, and they'd have to set for 24 hours when you get them back before using the trolley. But I personally would just take them out, put your normal plastic thumb screws in there, because at the end of the day, all it was a system that stopped you losing the thumb screw, but then obviously you've lost them, so it hasn't worked. So you're better off just going with your basic one, which you just lock off and undo as normal. But it probably need the threads tapping out before the new one went in. But I can do that, it's not a problem. Or if you're pretty clued up and you've got the right size, taps, you can do it yourself, run it through and back out and put a new thumb screw in there, mate. So give us a bell on that one, Perry, and we can get that all sorted. That's about it at the moment, mate. Boys and girls, most of the questions that I am getting are repeats what I've done in other Q&A times, which if you're new to the channel, just go back and you can watch all my Q&A sessions, and I'm sure any question or problem will get resolved in them videos. So go back, have a look. Remember as well, if you are new to the channel, subscribe on any of my YouTube videos. Like, subscribe, and you'll get that lifetime 10% discount. Not only that, helps build the channel up, gets more awareness out there, gets more viewers, and you know, we can resolve more of your problems. And as I've had a few questions today on other barrows, different makes and models, Fox, Chubb, etc. Don't, you know, if you've got a barrow and you even don't know what your barrow name is, you can take a picture, send it to me, and I can do my research if I've never seen it and find out what barrow it is. And we can basically do any general repair or anything you need doing on any of the barrows out there. Because at the end of the day, they're all made of steel or aluminium, and we can get the problem sorted. So give us a bell on any little question you have, or leave a message on my site as usual. I'd like to say thank you all for watching Q&A today in October. Hope to see you in the next one, or I might see you in some of me out and about videos I'm doing now, where I'm just popping around the lakes, handing out a few leaflets and doing little reviews of the lakes around Essex. So all the best, guys. Have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.